Hi there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael's Sweaty Backyard Marina. My gosh, it's getting warmer today. It's already 85. Now, that doesn't sound like it's going to be too hot, but when it's 62% humidity, that means your body will not evaporate to cool you off like it should, and it will make you just drenched in sweat. So, I already did one job this morning, and it's the sun's now out. I did it while the clouds were under, but now the sun is out, and I need to do yet another job, and I can't bring it into the shop, so to speak, because my shop is so full of crap. But I'm working through projects and thinning the herd. What we're doing today is, what I have before me here is a pair of struts that already have the springs installed and are ready to bolt into a 2006 Lexus. My wife's car, and you guys might think, oh, he's got a Lexus. No, don't think of it that way. Think of it as I got a good deal. Somebody else paid the other end of it. I got a used vehicle, about 12,000 miles ago with 99,000 miles on it. And I've had to since replace a wheel bearing that went out, which would have been pretty simple and inexpensive to do, except for the fact that it had the rear drive shaft spline was stuck in the hub so bad I couldn't break it free with a sledgehammer. I literally had to torch it out of the car, and once I got it out of the car, I had to buy some new pieces, including a spring backing plate and all that fun stuff. So that was quite the ordeal. $800 worth of parts later, it's back up and running. It's been fine ever since. Since then, the rear struts have taken a beating, and it could be due to the fact that maybe we hauled our 5 dogs and all of our gear back and forth to South Carolina once on vacation and put quite the weight load in the back of the car that normally it wouldn't normally have to do. But that's neither here nor there. We bought a new set of struts. We're going to bolt them in. I'm going to show you how to do it, and we'll go from there. The other thing I got to do on the vehicle is tighten up the belts. The belts, it's a stupid design. It's an RX330. It has 2 serpentine belts without a single belt tensioner. It's one belt is just going between 2 pulleys. I think the other belt goes around maybe 3 pulleys, and that's it. And there is absolutely no... They could have serpentined the whole thing and got the job done, but the Toyota engineers, let's just say they failed on that front. I'm on my 3rd set of belts. Well, I got it with a pair of belts on it, put a set of belts on it. They chirped and squeaked. I could not get it adjusted enough that they wouldn't chirp and squeak. And now I'm on my 3rd set of belts, and they're chirping and squeaking. I'm going to try tightening a living pee out of it to see if I can get it to not... I think you just got to tighten them over tight to keep them from barking and squeaking every time you start it up. Or sometimes when you catch second gear under a load, you hear it go, and it's kind of cool because it sounds like you're getting a second gear scratch. But that's probably not going to happen on an all-wheel drive vehicle with a V6 in it. Let's just say that at 45 miles an hour. So let's get busy putting these in. I'll leave a link to the description of these below, what I put in. They weren't the most expensive thing on the market. They weren't the cheapest ones on the market either. I ran the middle ground here, and we'll see how long they last. It'll be kind of like the last video you saw on my Impala, whereas 2 to 3 years later, and something goes out, I'll report out on it. Then I'll link the 2 together, so when somebody's watching one, they'll see the other, and you can learn. Some of the stuff I do on this channel is building up over time, series of things that take months and months and months to perform. Finally, when somebody discovers the channel, they get to watch part 1 through 5, so to speak, and they don't miss a beat, whereas it might be 6 months in the making of that part 1 through 5. And that's why people ask me, where's that other thing? Where's that other thing? It's coming. It just takes me time. But my gosh, I threw the garage door open this morning and shut the air off in my shop just because I knew I was going to be working right outside the door and I want to have quick access to my tools. But as soon as that gets done, the air is going back on, the door is going shut. And folks might say, well, it's going to take forever to catch up. Well, it runs pretty much all day anyway when we have this kind of weather. The one thing it does do is keep the humidity out of the air, and it might keep it at a 76 degrees. When I have it set at 72, but it is dry, cool air. Not experiencing that right now. My God, I'm drenched. All right, let's go back the car around and get it up here, jack up the one side and get busy on it and see what we can make happen. And I'm only going to show you one side because the other side is exactly the same, so I won't waste your time. This is going to be quick and painless. Enjoy. We'll see you on the car here in a minute. I wanted you guys to hear this. Hear that? Stick, 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 stick. You can see it almost vibrating. I'm gonna put the mic right here. What you're hearing there is the struts are shot on this side for sure, the other side as well. That's the inside of the cylinder on the shock tower, strut tower, that's sticking. And when you're driving the road and every little movement your car makes, it makes a sticky sound, transfers throughout the whole car, makes it miserable to drive. All right, we got two 10mm bolts to remove from here. That one came out. We'll put some never sees on that when it goes back in. I'll set that one aside. We got that frees up this particular line here that is. Let go of my ego. We'll have to do some prying on that, I believe. And let's see if I can get to this bottom one here. Oh, we'll need an extension for that one. Or just a regular ratchet. I do have these two 19mm. Let's see if the old 3/8 impact is up to the job. I'll be done. It broke it loose. It broke both of them loose. I cannot believe it. Good job. Well, it was way easier than I thought it might be. Well, that's cool. But you're always just one bolt away from it turning into an all-day job. This other 10mm, I gotta get it back behind here somewhere. Where are you? Can't I get my wrench on it? I have a 12mm back here. What do we got up front here? Looks more like a 13 or 15 maybe. Yep, 14. Well, that's just spinning. Well, this looks like it's got a hex on the inside to combat that problem. Maybe this one we hit with a little more PB, huh? That's a 5mm Allen that's in there. That holds that stupid thing on. So far, so good. I'm gonna go ahead and knock these two bolts out. A wiggle action to come right out. Now this will be free from that, which is awesome. Now we'll go up on the inside. There's 3 bolts on the inside we need to take out. Now you're going to pull this decorative cover off the back of your shock strut tower back in the rear of your car. And you're going to see there's 1, 2, 3 access points for these nuts. Now when you back them off, don't back them off all the way. Get them so that they're just far enough out that the nylock nut is off of the thread. And I'm going to show you why. Because if you drop these down in here, you're pulling this whole cover off. I'll take my magnet and see if I can spin them the rest of the way off. Now that we got all three out, we should be able to drop the strut out of the car. Okay. We got to get this one little clip off of there. Now the strut should be free from everything that's constraining it. Let's see if we can sneak it out of here somehow. There we go. Here we go. It's coming out. Let go, may I go? Thank you. May I have another? There we go. All right. Just the way it came out, we'll stick her back in. Probably gonna have to use a little pry bar action to get this back down where it belongs. Oh, we're so close there. Everything's tight. Time to put the tire back on. Put her on the ground. Awesome. That went pretty smooth. Now we'll put it on the ground and we'll torque her down. And we're done. Well, folks, that's all there is to it. Properly torque your lug nuts down, and then you're done. Now, I'm not going to show you the other side because the other side is the same as the first side. No different, same bolts, same everything. It's just left versus right. Don't need to waste your time showing you that. But that little trick in the hatch back there, pulling those nuts and using the magnet, don't forget to do that because you'll be tearing part of your interior apart trying to chase down that one nut. Now, I will tell you the struts that I bought and the ones that will be listed in the description did come with nuts, but the factory ones are a lot thicker, a lot heavier duty. They're the same thread as the ones I bought, so I use the originals because they were in great shape. And instead of using these ones that don't have as much thread or are not nearly as beefy. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm looking forward to taking this for a spin because we've been driving my car more than her car, just for the simple fact that rattling in the background sounded like a spare tire hanging loose. And I thought that's what it was at first, but it was not, because I ended up taking a poon noodle and putting around the spare tire to make sure it had pressure up against it so nothing could rattle. And but yeah, after looking at this strut here, you can see it's all wet around the top. All the oil's been long gone. The rubber boot's completely destroyed. There's a lot of rubber stuck to the outside. You can actually see where it's worn through the chrome here. So after 10,000 miles, these things were toast. Probably closer to 105,000, to be honest with you. Put it with the noise for a little longer than I should have. But yeah, that went relatively easy. All the tapped holes that are on here, all the holes that are supposed to be on the bracket to hook your lines back up was there and perfect. And I'm pretty happy because I bought these without springs before. And well, we'll see how long they last. These springs seem to hold the car at the nice ride height it's supposed to be. It will settle just a little bit, as most things do once you drive them around. But man, what you notice when you backed out of my garage, you got to drop about like that. And when you drop down, the rear end of the car goes foom foom, and it just had too much give. It didn't absorb it. The fronts are still working perfectly fine. They absorb everything perfect. But the rear ones, like I said, I'm pretty sure we overloaded the back end of the old Lexus one too many times, and we paid the price. Bought a $200 set of struts. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go and get busy working on your car or your project. Remember, do an hour a day on your project, and you'll gain 365 hours worth of hours towards your project. That means something. Even if it's just going out. I've done this where I've just had a day where I'm just gonna go out and clean up my shop and put some things away, because naturally, when I was working on my project, I might have made a little bit of a mess, or I might spend a little time organizing so I can work more efficiently in the future. If I spend an hour organizing, I'll probably gain that hour back in efficiency down the road. All right, this is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. Get out there and have some fun. And I'll see you on the next video. And we're going to make some things run around here. And but we got to keep the things I got around here running. All right, I'm out. Peace, love. Ow, wow. That metal top right on the tip of the finger feels awesome.